Alright, this is going to be a very special video. I'll be showcasing my roughly $10,000 personal collection. And this is, well, pretty crazy for the pieces of history you're going to be getting here. So first off, I want to showcase probably one of my favorite pieces I have. This is the playmat you typically usually see me playing on. This is the World's Championship 2012 playmat. Now for those of you that don't know, this playmat also had the legendary Blue Eyes and the legendary Dark Magician counterpart mat. Could have picked up both, should have picked up both. Now the other playmat's worth like $2,000. So we paid $300 to pick this one up, and I've been a fan of this mat ever since. During Pendulum Era I couldn't really plan it because of the zone placements, but it's kind of all changed. So this is just kind of more or less a cool personal piece. Now, for those of you that have been following the channel for a long time, I used to have the Shonen Jump playset. For those of you that don't know, times kind of got desperate. Things kind of changed a little bit, and well, yeah, we kind of have to sell things to pay for a new car. So we no longer have that. But an interesting little piece of history that has kind of replaced that little piece has been my Shonen Jump, or the actual YCS prize card set. So a little bit of history as to how I've kind of acquired all these. So we actually ended up picking up all copies of the Dark Lords. Oh god, I think they came up for sale last year relatively cheaply on the market, so we snagged them. I think the set was like $150. Couldn't pass it up. Got Memphis before the initial spike hike. A lot of people have been hyping these motherfuckers at like $300 a piece, so yeah, these have been pretty crazy. For those of you that also don't know, this is the Dig Vorzak that I won back in 2012 with Gadgets. Finished third place in Indianapolis at the YCS. So do have our original prize card that is intact. We still have Giant Hand. That, well, actually this is another Giant Hand. We ended up selling the original hand for like $700, picked up another one for $4. Sky Dragon over here, still ticking around. Let's see here. This is the same Minerva that I spent, what was it, $800 on a year or so back. The thing that makes this one so interesting is I sold this to my friend, and then my friend ended up selling it back to me at a later date because of financial constraints. So definitely something interesting with this. And then we have number 93, Kaiser, probably the cheapest pickup of all the prize cards. Honestly, this wasn't even anything too special. It was just kind of like, well, we need to pick it up because it's a prize card. So kind of something interesting to denote with that. So those are, oh, we can't forget one. Ah, yes. You guys remember this card? I think we were messing around with this in Dark Magician for like a week. Every once in a while we'll kind of just be like, oh, you guys want to get out the Mind Hacker and play some Dark Magician? Yeah. So we do have this. I will be getting the Chaos Armageddon at some point to add to the collection. So we will have that. So those are just key little things. Some little abnormalities kind of picked up over time here. Sealed Kanan the Sword Mistress, for those of you that don't know, very extremely rare card. We have the Firewing Pegasus. This is also the original one. Dunamis the Dark Witch from TP8. And then we have the Chimera from Germany. And then underneath, I'm not going to open this up, but there is a Ciaru in here. It's not the video game one, it's the replica that they gave away for events. So some relatively cool old stuff to kind of show off. So there's that. Now, some other simpler things that many of you, I'm sure, have kind of come to just realize are floating around right now. This is last year's replica, or not replica set, but the Japanese cards. Now, I used to have the Landius, the Stardust Divinity, and the World's replicas, but wanting to start what I was doing with life, kind of had to sell those off because of financial constraints. Like, to spend money, you have to make money. Well, after some time and things, I kind of gotten the ability to kind of pick up some cooler things. So the last year's World's promos. Now, I honestly think that said Dark Magician Girl Ghost Rare is one of the coolest cards to kind of come out of modern day. Like, look how much that glimmers. So there is that. We also have the Blue Eyes alternative White Dragon from the set. And then this was also the first release of this Monster Reborn for the OCG. It's the first time that they've actually gotten this particular art in their game. And I know there was probably a lot of craze going around for these. These sets were selling for anywhere from $700 to like $1,400 last year. I don't even remember what I paid for mine. I think it was like $800 or something like that. But this set was so much crazier than this year's. But this, the Ghost Dark Magician Girl, is an iconic piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History that I honestly wanted to have. So there's that. So that's that. Now, for more up-and-coming pieces, you guys know about this year's set. Now, this wasn't particularly hard to track down. It's just, you kind of got to pick your poison with your battles and wait it out for the right price to come along. This is this year's 2018 promos. I haven't had time to do anything with these. And honestly, the printing on these is phenomenal. Like, I'm honestly shocked. Now, honestly, this was like the cheaper set from what I was kind of expecting to pick them up for. I've seen vendors pay anywhere from like $250 to $300 on these. I think a couple sets sold on eBay for like $300. So they are very expensive for just kind of what they are. So there is that. Now, the last piece of my collection is a rather interesting one. And I've showed this off before, but a little bit of history behind why I have this. So, this is the World's Prize card. This is the Shelga the Tri-Warlord. Now, for those of you that have followed this channel or looked through some of the previous videos, I had the Emperor of Lightning and I had the Pit Boss. And I ended up selling off the Emperor of Lightning at an earlier time. Well, tracking that card down was kudos to previous me. But I ended up having to sell it because of financial constraints. Oh man, it seems to be the theme here. Then we kind of reached another point later on in life where we had the Pit Boss. I love the Pit Boss for what it was, but I couldn't justify what he was worth. And once again, wanting to start up your own, style of business, have revenue to, want to do what I do, it becomes hard. But eventually, through a lot of hard work, you'll get returns. And I waited a whole solid year. These Worlds cards, they don't come on the market very often. And if they do, there's usually a contest between people with way more money than I think I've seen some of these Worlds cards back in the day when I started getting them. They were $3,000, which was relatively easy. And then fast forward at a much later time, some of the first place ones, the two ofs in the world, were pushing $10,000 to $11,000 a card. I actually got lucky. This came back on the market last year from a fellow in Australia. I paid $5,000 for it. It was more than I wanted to spend. But here's the thing, and this is for a piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History, for somebody that loves this game as much as I, and for as much as I like to contribute to the game, I just wanted to have something I could stare at that has been iconic. It's something that means the world. I have a very bad niche with wanting things that the normal person can't get a hold of. So to have this in my collection, it made me happy. Now there are so many other cool pieces out there. You've got, I think it's Hong Lee has been collecting more recently. He's got some of the cooler pieces out there. Oh god, I can never remember. I think it's Anthony Nguyen, Asian Sensation. If you follow, I believe it's on Instagram. He's got the original Seal of Orichalcos from, what is it, Upper Deck. There are a lot of like iconic pieces that have kind of come into the light as of recently. And I mean, Shelga's not as cool as the Pit Boss or anything like that, in my opinion, but, you know, I'm also not a fan of Platinum Rare, but here's the thing. It's a World's Prize card. At the end of the day, he is probably the coolest piece of my collection outside of personal gifts that I've been given, or just cool made things. As official as it gets, this is the Clen de la Clen. So this is by far my current rarest piece that I have, and I will be honest, I am extremely happy with the way the collection's going. Now, there are obviously smaller other integral pieces to this. I'd love to recollect the Shonen Jump collection at some point, but money is money. Money is slow to acquire, so it's kind of something to understand. So that is all I have for this video. This is my $10,000 Yu-Gi-Oh collection, guys. For those of you that are like, I don't see how it's worth it, you're staring at $5,000 right here. So just fun little pieces to kind of come with the history of Yu-Gi-Oh. Alright guys, peace on out. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel, and join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.